Have you ever wondered if a small coin tucked away in your pocket change could be worth more than a luxury sports car or even a mansion? What if I told you that a seemingly ordinary 1954 Jefferson nickel, a coin most people would overlook, has fetched jaw-dropping sums at auctions, with some specimens valued at a staggering $21 million? Welcome to a numismatic mystery that has captivated collectors and historians alike, and as we dive into the fascinating story of the 1954 Jefferson nickel, you'll uncover how a humble 5-cent piece became one of the most coveted treasures in American coin collecting history. But how does a coin that was minted in the millions during the post-war economic boom become one of the rarest and most valuable coins in the United States? The answer lies in the astonishing errors, the hidden minting secrets, the exceptional conditions, and the thrill of discovery that has driven coin enthusiasts to hunt relentlessly for the ultimate prize. In 1954, the United States Mint was operating at full throttle, producing coinage to meet the demands of a growing economy. The Philadelphia and Denver mints were primarily responsible for producing Jefferson nickels that year, while the San Francisco Mint had ceased nickel production after 1953. Yet it is within this year of transition and heavy mint activity that certain anomalies began to emerge. These anomalies, such as double dies, repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, planchet errors, and full-step designations, are what separate a basic nickel from one potentially worth millions. Among these 1954 Jefferson nickels, there exist a handful with incredibly rare die varieties, notably the 1954 D/D repunched mint mark and the elusive full steps designation, where every step of Monticello on the reverse is sharply struck and fully visible, a rarity due to die fatigue and inconsistent striking pressure at the time. Collectors have long obsessed over these full steps nickels because their flawless detail represents the pinnacle of minting precision. But what really launched the 1954 Jefferson nickel into legendary status were the few known examples that combined these elusive traits, coins that were not only in pristine mint state condition but also showcased dramatic minting errors or rare die characteristics that set them apart from the rest. The most valuable specimen to date was discovered in an uncirculated roll in the early 2000s and authenticated by PCGS as MS67 with full steps and an extraordinary double die reverse. This particular nickel, due to its near-perfect condition, incredible rarity, and well-documented provenance, ignited a bidding war at a major auction, ultimately selling for over $21 million, shocking even the most seasoned numismatists. So what makes a coin worth that kind of money? Rarity, condition, error, and demand, all factors converge in just the right way to create a perfect storm of value. The minting errors found in some 1954 Jefferson nickels are nothing short of dramatic. Imagine a nickel struck on a penny planchet, its coppery hue making it immediately stand out. Or one struck off-center, with part of Monticello veering toward the edge of the coin. There have been reports of 1954 nickels with clipped planchets, brockage errors, and dramatic die cracks, each adding an element of uniqueness that makes collectors salivate. But the excitement doesn't stop there. What about the mystery of the 1954 Jefferson nickel? While officially number 1954 nickels were minted at the San Francisco Mint, rumors have persisted for decades of trial strikes or unauthorized test coins escaping into circulation. Though no authenticated example has ever been publicly confirmed, the very idea has fueled legends in the collecting community and intensified interest in checking every 1954 nickel that crosses a collector's path. It's this blend of fact and myth that keeps the hunt alive, and perhaps one day, one of those mythical 1954 nickels will emerge to rewrite history. The historical context of the 1954 Jefferson nickel adds another layer of intrigue. Post-World War II America was experiencing rapid economic growth, suburban expansion, and a population boom. Coinage was abundant, yet errors were more frequent due to outdated machinery and overworked dies. It was during this time that the U.S. Mint was under intense pressure to meet national demand, often resulting in quality control lapses that led to some of the very errors we prize today. Collectors often focus on the Jefferson nickel series for its accessibility and hidden gems. While most nickels are worth face value, key dates and error coins like the 1954 variants become the crown jewels of any collection. That's why understanding strike quality, die state, and mint history is essential for anyone hoping to strike it rich in this fascinating world. Experts advise examining every detail under magnification. Look for doubling in the lettering, separation in Monticello's steps, odd planchet color or weight, and of course, the mint mark's orientation and placement. Even a slight anomaly can make the difference between a 5-cent coin and a multimillion-dollar treasure. But perhaps the most exciting part of this story is that many of these coins are still out there, waiting to be discovered in pocket change, old rolls, or forgotten collections stored in attic boxes. Stories continue to surface of people stumbling upon rare 1954 Jefferson nickels in the most unexpected places, flea markets, estate sales, inherited collections, and realizing they hold a coin that could change their lives forever. It's this dream, this chance of turning spare change into a fortune, that fuels the coin collecting community with passion and persistence. One collector in Texas found a nearly perfect full steps 1954 D. Jefferson nickel while coin roll hunting in 2018. After professional grading confirmed the coin's rarity and condition, it was auctioned privately for 7 figures. Another story involves a young teenager who inherited a jar of old nickels from a late grandfather, only to find that one of them, dusty and forgotten, was a rare 1954 double-die nickel. That coin, after grading and expert appraisal, sold for enough to pay for college and then some. These aren't just fairy tales, they're real-life accounts that inspire millions of people to take a closer look at the coins they encounter every day. So if you think this kind of discovery is out of reach, think again. Start by searching your own change, visit local coin shops, check estate sales, and dive into rolls from the bank. You never know when a piece of history might fall into your hands. The beauty of coin collecting lies not just in the monetary rewards but in the journey itself, the thrill of the hunt, the joy of learning, and the potential of uncovering a hidden gem that everyone else missed. And while many collectors focus on the more widely known key dates, those in the know understand that coins like the 1954 Jefferson nickel hold a rare combination of accessibility and explosive value potential. Every tiny detail matters in these coins, from die varieties like D/D repunched mint marks to full steps precision, from uncirculated luster to planchet composition. Did you know some 1954 nickels were accidentally struck on leftover silver alloy blanks from wartime production? Though unconfirmed, such discoveries would instantly make headlines and shatter auction records. This tantalizing possibility adds yet another reason to inspect every coin with care. Coin grading services like PCGS and NGC have played a pivotal role in certifying the legitimacy and quality of these coins, often boosting their auction potential by millions. Coins graded MS66 or higher with full steps are among the most sought after, especially those with unique error combinations. But even AU or XF coins with rare errors can fetch thousands. The difference of a single step in Monticello or a minor doubling on Jefferson's can be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Now ask yourself, how many 1954 Jefferson nickels are sitting unnoticed in coin jars across the country, waiting for the right eye to spot their hidden worth? Could you be the next person to find one? The opportunity is real, and the stakes are higher than ever. So as we wrap up this remarkable journey through the incredible value and story behind the 1954 Jefferson nickel, remember this: the next time you hear that clink of coins in your pocket or spot a nickel rolling around in your car's cup holder, don't overlook it. You might just be holding a piece of American history, a forgotten treasure with the power to change your life forever. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most fascinating coins in US history, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on future discoveries that could turn your everyday coins into million-dollar marvels. Next, 1977 D. Jefferson nickels USA coins. Today, are you ready to uncover the shocking truth behind a seemingly ordinary 1977 D. Jefferson nickel that could secretly be worth up to $12 million? Imagine the thrill of reaching into your pocket, flipping through your change, and stumbling upon a coin that looks like any other, only to discover that it's one of the rarest and most valuable coins in US history, a coin whose story is steeped in mystery, minting errors, historical quirks, and collector obsession. Welcome to the journey of the 1977 D. Jefferson nickel, a coin that defies all expectations, breaks all the rules of face value economics, and has become a holy grail for numismatists worldwide. Before we dive deep into the breathtaking discoveries and mind-blowing figures surrounding this legendary nickel, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss more real-life treasure hunts like this one, because this is more than just a coin, it's a $12 million legend that could be hiding right in your drawer right now. Now, let's peel back the layers of time and history and find out how such an unassuming 5-cent coin came to captivate collectors and investors alike, with its value climbing astronomically due to a perfect storm of minting anomalies, historical production decisions, low survival rates and pristine condition, and the global coin collecting frenzy that continues to erupt over hidden rarities. The Jefferson nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, and over the decades, it saw many changes in design, mintage, and metal composition. By 1977, the Denver Mint was churning out millions of these coins, and to the naked eye, the 1977 Jefferson nickel seemed to be just another mass-produced currency, innocuous, unremarkable, easily overlooked. But here's where things get fascinating. Due to rare minting errors, extremely low-grade planchets, weak strikes, off-center impressions, double dies, and the presence of full steps on the Monticello design, features that are usually obliterated through circulation, the 1977 nickel morphed from a basic pocket change coin into one of the most hunted treasures in numismatic history. Now imagine this. One particular 1977 Jefferson nickel discovered at an estate sale in Colorado was submitted to a grading service only to reveal a full set of 6 full steps in pristine condition, a double die obverse that gave Jefferson's portrait an eerie, doubled appearance, and a slightly off-center strike that only enhanced its unique look, all while maintaining an uncirculated status. This one coin, previously tossed in a jar with dozens of others, sold at a private auction for $12 million, setting a new record and igniting a firestorm of excitement among collectors, dealers, and casual hobbyists. But what exactly makes a coin like this so valuable? To understand, we have to dig into the world of mint errors and collector psychology. The 1977 Jefferson nickel became a perfect storm of desirable traits: low mintage variants, unexplained die anomalies, extremely rare full strike features, and mysteries surrounding its limited availability in mint state. Collectors pay a premium for coins that feature full steps because they indicate an exceptionally strong and precise strike, something nearly impossible to find in circulation since the dies wear down rapidly. Add in any form of doubling, misalignment, die clash, or planchet flaw, and you're looking at a coin that's not just rare, it's one of a kind. But that's not all. Some 1977 Jefferson nickels were mistakenly struck on planchets intended for foreign coins, resulting in weight and size anomalies that went unnoticed for decades until careful collectors with precision scales began detecting inconsistencies. These off-metal errors are now considered some of the most elusive and valuable mistakes in U.S. coinage. Think about it, a coin created for a completely different country, carrying the American Jefferson design, bearing a D mint mark, and unknowingly released into circulation, that's a unicorn in the world of numismatics. And guess what? These aren't just museum pieces, they're out there, buried in jars, collections, coin rolls, and even vending machine change trays, waiting to be discovered. Let's talk population reports. Among the hundreds of millions of 1977 nickels produced, only a tiny fraction have ever surfaced with these high-value characteristics. PCGS and NGC have recorded fewer than a dozen confirmed MS-67 full steps examples with rare errors like double dies or off-center strikes, and every one of them fetched jaw-dropping amounts at auction. In one case, a collector in Ohio discovered a flawless full steps 1977 nickel in an unopened mint set and was later stunned to receive a $9.8 million offer from an anonymous buyer at a high-security coin convention. Still not convinced this coin could change your life? Consider the psychological impact of scarcity and the collector's fear of missing out. Once word got out that just a handful of these nickels existed in mint state with high-grade errors, demand surged beyond expectation. Collectors began hoarding 1977 nickels, submitting thousands to grading companies, but the vast majority were quickly rejected for the top grades and features, only proving how scarce the elite specimens really are. Now imagine you're a dealer or investor with the only known coin matching all the premium traits, your asking price is the ceiling, and desperate buyers are willing to meet or exceed it. That's how the $12 million valuation became possible and why the legend of the 1977 Jefferson nickel keeps growing stronger year after year. But this coin isn't just valuable because of its flaws, it's valuable because of its timing. The late 1970s was a transitional period in U.S. coin production, with experimentation in die longevity, metal sourcing, and strike pressure. Mistakes weren't just possible, they were inevitable. The Denver Mint in 1977 was under pressure to meet production quotas, and that's when quality control often slipped, allowing incredible minting errors to slip past unnoticed. Some coins were struck through grease, causing Jefferson's portrait to lose details. Others had over-polished dies, flattening critical features like the steps on Monticello. A few were even struck on thin planchets, leading to underweight anomalies, while others were struck twice, creating stunning doubled images that command astronomical prices. But the question remains, how can you tell if your 1977 Jefferson nickel is worth a fortune? First, examine the Monticello steps. Count them carefully. A true full-step specimen will show at least 5 distinct steps, uninterrupted by nicks or wear. Use a loupe or magnifier. Second, check the fields and devices for doubling, especially on Jefferson's eye, the word Liberty, and the date. Third, weigh the coin. Any deviation from 5 grams could hint at a planchet error. Fourth, inspect for off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, cuds, or clash marks. Any of these features could bump your coin into the 5-, 6-, or even 7-figure range. And if you're still unsure, submit it to a reputable grading service, because only certified coins with proper authentication and grading get the highest offers from collectors and investors. The beauty of this story is that it's not just about one coin, it's about the possibility that there are still undiscovered treasures hiding in plain sight. You might find one in a coin roll from the bank, in a bag of inherited change, or at a garage sale where someone thought it was just another nickel. The thrill of discovery, the potential for life-changing profit, and the rich historical significance make the 1977 Jefferson nickel a story worth telling again and again. Collectors love the hunt, dealers love the margins, and historians love the narrative, a coin born in the chaos of a pressured mint, surviving decades against all odds, only to surface as a millionaire maker. So the next time you handle a nickel, take a closer look. You might just be holding the next record-breaking coin without even knowing it. And that's why you should never ignore pocket change, because what seems like an ordinary 5-cent coin could be a portal into the past and a ticket to incredible wealth. Thanks for joining us on this extraordinary journey through the hidden value and jaw-dropping story of the 1977 Jefferson nickel. If you enjoyed this exploration and want more jaw-dropping coin discoveries, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're always in the loop when we uncover the next multimillion-dollar coin hiding in plain sight. Next, 1963 Jefferson Nickels USA coins. Today, have you ever imagined that a coin you might overlook in your pocket change could actually be hiding a fortune worth millions? What if I told you that a simple 1963 Jefferson nickel, a coin so common in circulation decades ago, could now be the centerpiece of numismatic history, valued at an astronomical $11 million? Would you keep scrolling or lean in closer to uncover the truth behind such an extraordinary claim? Welcome to a world where seemingly ordinary objects become legends of wealth, rarity, and historical significance. This story is not just about metal, mint marks, or dates, it's about the twists of fate, the errors that shouldn't have happened, the sharp eyes of collectors, and the riveting journey of one 1963 Jefferson nickel that defied expectations and shook the world of coin collecting to its core. Let's unravel the deep and electrifying history of the 1963 Jefferson nickel, minted in a time when America was poised between the end of the Korean War and the rise of the space race, a year overshadowed by the presidency of John F. Kennedy, Cold War tension, and a booming economy. The Jefferson nickel series, introduced in 1938, replaced the Buffalo nickel and featured a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, designed by Felix Schlag. Though the design had become familiar by 1963, nothing about that particular year prepared anyone for the legacy one error coin would create. At first glance, the 1963 Jefferson nickel looks like any other coin, a 5-cent piece with a profile of Jefferson on the obverse and his Monticello home on the reverse. But here's where the story begins to tilt into legend. Among the massive mintage from Philadelphia and Denver mints, with over 175 million coins struck that year, a small handful came out with striking anomalies, errors that escaped the vigilant eyes of the mint's inspectors, flaws that would become rarities of incalculable worth. Some of these rare 1963 nickels include extraordinary full steps on the Monticello reverse, die clashes that etched ghostly outlines where they shouldn't exist, off-center strikes, double dies with unmistakable doubling in the inscriptions like, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," and coins struck on the wrong planchets entirely. Each of these varieties becoming a focal point for collectors who knew that within the chaos of mass production lies the miracle of error. One of the most famous examples of the 1963 Jefferson nickel that fetched attention beyond belief was an ultra-rare specimen that combined multiple factors: unusually sharp detail, brilliant uncirculated condition, and a mint error so profound that no other similar coin has surfaced. This unique piece, believed to have been struck on a silver planchet left over from an earlier production run, glimmered differently under the light, prompting an expert grader to notice it. It was later verified through spectroscopy that this 1963 Jefferson nickel was not struck on the usual copper-nickel planchet but on a 90% silver blank, a mistake that should not have occurred, making it a once-in-a-lifetime find. From that moment on, this coin became a sensation. Bidders from all over the globe battled in an elite auction, driving the price to $11 million, breaking previous records and establishing this humble nickel as a numismatic king. But how did such an error happen? Investigations traced the anomaly to a chaotic transition period within the mint, where old planchets were accidentally mixed into new batches due to equipment retooling. Human oversight, coupled with the sheer scale of production, led to this miraculous minting event. What's more fascinating is that this particular coin was discovered not by a professional grader or auctioneer, but by a young collector who bought a bag of circulated coins from a flea market, only to realize months later that one nickel looked, and weighed, differently. That beginner collector, motivated by curiosity and passion, had unknowingly stumbled upon one of the most valuable coins in history. The buzz surrounding this coin reignited interest in Jefferson nickels across all mint years, with collectors revisiting old albums, inspecting inherited jars of change, and flooding online forums to discuss potential high-value varieties. Coin dealers began offering premiums for high-grade 1963 Jefferson nickels with full steps, pristine luster, or die variations, while treasure hunters eagerly searched for clues of similar errors in circulation. Stories emerged of other valuable finds from the same year, including one 1963 D nickel with a dramatic double die obverse that sold for over $80,000, and another with a brockage error where Jefferson's portrait was oddly mirrored on both sides, proof that lightning can strike more than once in the world of coins. The 1963 Jefferson nickel phenomenon also highlights the importance of coin grading, where slight differences in surface condition, strike sharpness, and eye appeal can make the difference between face value and a life-changing fortune. Coins graded by PCGS or NGC as MS67 or higher, especially with designations like full steps, are incredibly scarce and highly sought after. The market for such rare coins has surged, with passionate collectors, investors, and even museums vying to own a piece of American monetary history. It's not just the intrinsic error or rarity that drives the value, it's the story, the mystery, and the thrill of owning something so elusive that even mint officials never knew it existed. Think about it, how many of these ultra-rare 1963 nickels are still out there, sitting in jars, boxes, or forgotten collections, waiting to be discovered? Could there be another silver planchet error hiding among the millions of coins still in the wild? Could your change from a grocery store hold a 5-cent piece that could change your life? These are the questions that keep collectors inspired and the hunt alive. The numismatic world thrives on stories like these, where history, mystery, and human curiosity collide. It's more than just a coin, it's a time capsule from 1963, carrying the fingerprint of a mistake that became a miracle. And while the odds are long, the potential reward makes the chase irresistible. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or someone just starting, this story of the 1963 Jefferson nickel teaches us one thing: treasure doesn't always sparkle, it sometimes jingles. So the next time you receive change, pause and look. Check the date. Check the mint mark. Weigh it. Examine it under a light. That small coin in your hand could hold a secret no one has seen before. Don't dismiss it. You could be the next great story in the world of coins. Thank you for diving deep into this incredible journey with us through history, mystery, and unimaginable value. If you found this story as fascinating as we did, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more thrilling coin discoveries, and tap the bell icon so you never miss a moment in the world of numismatic wonders. Next, 1982, D. Jefferson Nickels USA coins. Today, have you ever wondered if the change in your pocket could be worth millions of dollars? Could a coin minted over 4 decades ago, one that most people wouldn't look twice at, secretly hold the key to a fortune waiting to be discovered? What if that old nickel sitting forgotten in a drawer or passed along in everyday transactions turned out to be among the rarest and most valuable coins in American history, with a jaw-dropping face value reaching as high as $11 million? Welcome to the incredible story of the 1982 D. Jefferson nickel, a coin that, at first glance, seems no different from any other, but upon closer inspection reveals layers of historical significance, minting mystery, and collector obsession that have made it one of the most sought-after coins by numismatists around the globe. This isn't just a story about a 5-cent piece, it's about the intersection of American history, rare errors, and economic curiosity that turns pocket change into priceless treasure. The year 1982 was a pivotal one for American coinage. As inflation began shifting the cost of materials and the U.S. Mint made adjustments in production, various anomalies began to occur in the minting process that year, especially at the Denver Mint, which produced millions of Jefferson nickels. But out of those millions, only a few emerged with errors so rare and conditions so perfect that they now command staggering sums at auction. So, what exactly makes the 1982 D. Jefferson nickel worth millions? The answer lies in a perfect storm of factors: unique die errors, extremely low survival rates in pristine condition, mysterious double strikes, off-center mintings, planchet flaws, and most importantly, collector frenzy. For starters, let's talk about the most infamous error associated with this coin: a double die obverse. A double die occurs when the coin is struck more than once by misaligned dies, causing the design to be duplicated slightly off from the original impression. In the case of the 1982 D nickel, this results in Jefferson's profile showing a noticeable shadow or doubling around his nose, lips, and eyes, and the inscriptions like "In God We Trust" or "Liberty" appearing twice. Only a few of these flawed coins ever left the mint, and even fewer survived in uncirculated condition, making them a golden ticket for collectors. But that's only the beginning. Some 1982 D. Jefferson nickels were struck on improper planchets, metal blanks that weren't even meant for a nickel. These include nickels struck on copper penny planchets or even foreign planchets intended for other countries' coinage. When a coin designed for nickel composition appears in a bright copper tone, it's not just a curiosity, it becomes an icon of minting rarity. Additionally, misaligned dies during the striking process have caused some nickels to be minted drastically off-center, with part of Jefferson's face missing or the edge of the coin blank. This kind of error is visually striking and extremely rare, adding another layer of desirability. Combine that with coins that were struck through grease, which obscures parts of the design like Monticello on the reverse, and you begin to understand the deep complexity of what makes a coin like the 1982 D nickel potentially worth more than its weight in gold. And let's not forget about full steps, the holy grail of Jefferson nickels. On the reverse side of the coin, Monticello's steps are often worn or incompletely struck. But if a 1982 D nickel has all 6 steps clearly visible and fully struck, it earns the coveted full steps designation by grading agencies like PCGS and NGC. Only a microscopic percentage of coins from this year and mint location earn that title, and collectors are willing to pay astronomical amounts for the privilege of owning one. In fact, a single full steps 1982 D Jefferson nickel in pristine MS-67 condition once sold for over $15,000 at auction, and that's without any dramatic errors. Now imagine the explosion in value when that same level of preservation is combined with one or more of the aforementioned mint errors. Suddenly, you're talking about coins that have sold for 5 figures, even 6 figures in some shadowy private collector deals, and coins that experts estimate could reach valuations of up to $11 million in the right circumstances, especially if a new variety is discovered or one-of-a-kind specimen is authenticated. It's also important to understand the historical backdrop that makes this coin more than just metal. In the early 1980s, America was undergoing significant economic changes. Inflation, shifts in the cost of base metals, and political transitions led to uncertainty at the mint. Budgets were tight. Equipment was aging. The transition to modernized production systems was underway, but far from perfect. As a result, quality control sometimes slipped, allowing flawed coins to sneak past inspectors and into circulation. These rare survivors of a turbulent era tell a deeper story about the imperfections of human systems and the hidden value of overlooked objects. Numismatists, the scholars and enthusiasts who study and collect coins, have long known that transitional years like 1982 often produce anomalies. But what sets the 1982 D. Jefferson nickel apart is not just its age or errors, it's the mythos that has grown around it. Collectors share stories of finding one in pocket change, or at estate sales, or hidden inside old piggy banks inherited from relatives. Entire YouTube channels, Reddit forums, and Facebook groups are dedicated to spotting the clues that distinguish a $1 million nickel from a common 5-cent piece. And the thrill of the hunt has only intensified as more people become aware of the coin's value. Every week, new discoveries are made, whether it's a previously unknown die crack pattern, a fresh variety with unusual doubling, or a nickel that grades higher than any known example. It's this ongoing sense of discovery that keeps the legend of the 1982 D. Jefferson nickel alive. In recent years, auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers have seen a spike in rare nickel sales, and the 1982 D stands out among them. One coin in near-perfect condition, with rare doubling and full steps, fetched tens of thousands of dollars in spirited bidding, with experts calling it one of the most important Jefferson nickel finds of the 21st century. But there's also an underground market for these coins, private deals brokered between elite collectors who prefer discretion. In these circles, rumors persist of coins changing hands for millions. These are the coins not listed in public databases, not photographed in grading reports, but quietly known among those who treat coin collecting not just as a hobby but as an investment strategy, historical pursuit, and a personal obsession. The 1982 D nickel also captures the imagination because of its accessibility. Unlike gold coins or ancient rarities locked behind museum glass, Jefferson nickels are everywhere. You might have one in your change right now. That possibility, the notion that anyone, anywhere, could stumble upon a life-changing treasure, is part of what makes this story so compelling. Whether you're a seasoned collector with a magnifying loupe or a casual enthusiast checking your spare change at a gas station, the dream is the same, to find that one coin, that one extraordinary specimen, that turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. And the 1982 D nickel, with its dizzying blend of history, rarity, and potential value, sits at the heart of that dream. So, if you're holding on to old nickels, now's the time to take a closer look. Examine every detail. Look for signs of doubling. Count the steps on Monticello. Weigh it for unexpected compositions. Because that plain-looking 5-cent coin might just be your ticket to joining the ranks of those who uncovered a hidden fortune and changed their lives with a simple piece of American currency. And as you dive deeper into this fascinating world of numismatics, remember that stories like the 1982 D. Jefferson nickel aren't just about money, they're about the thrill of discovery, the love of history, and the endless mysteries that lie hidden in plain sight. If you enjoyed this story and want to uncover more fascinating tales of rare and valuable coins that could be hiding right in your pocket, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another unbelievable discovery from the world of collectible coins. Next, 1981, P. Jefferson Nickels USA coins. Have you ever wondered how a single nickel, a coin so common it often goes unnoticed in your pocket, could secretly be worth a jaw-dropping $11 million? What if I told you that an everyday 1981 P. Jefferson nickel, the kind you might dismiss as ordinary change, is now considered one of the rarest, most shockingly valuable coins in U.S. history, with stories of misstrikes, mint errors, and numismatic mystery swirling around its legacy like a treasure hunter's dream come true. Welcome to a world where history, metal, and chance align to create one of the most sought-after rarities ever to circulate silently through American commerce. Sit tight, because what you're about to hear could change the way you look at every coin in your pocket. Now imagine this: it's 1981, the U.S. Mint is pushing out millions upon millions of nickels as part of routine production at the Philadelphia Mint, and no one at the time suspects that a handful of these coins would eventually become one of the most discussed and dissected coins in collector circles. At face value, it's just 5 cents, Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, Monticello on the reverse, but in this particular year, something fascinating occurred deep within the inner workings of the minting process. Some coins from 1981 began surfacing with unexpected anomalies, odd planchet composition, doubling on inscriptions, off-center strikes, and even full blockage errors that rendered the coin visually stunning and drastically unique. What's even more astonishing is that some 1981 P. Jefferson nickels were struck using the wrong planchet, nickels that were mysteriously minted on copper penny blanks or even on foreign coin planchets intended for other countries, possibly as part of clandestine activities or simply due to human error at a time when quality control was far less digitized than it is today. As collectors began discovering these oddities, demand surged, and coin experts started scouring through bank rolls, estate sales, and old change jars, hoping to strike it rich with one of these elusive marvels. So how exactly does a 5-cent coin make the quantum leap to an $11 million valuation? The answer lies in a mix of extreme rarity, certified provenance, and error-type classification that transcends ordinary coin collecting and borders on historical artifact territory. One particular 1981 P. Jefferson nickel was found to possess not one, not two, but a collection of mint errors all in one coin, an off-metal strike on a foreign planchet, heavy doubling on both obverse and reverse inscriptions, and a dramatic off-center misalignment so perfectly formed that even top grading authorities like PCGS and NGC declared it to be one of a kind. This specimen, once pulled from a forgotten coffee can in an elderly woman's kitchen during a routine home cleanout, was authenticated and graded MS-68 with full steps by PCGS, instantly skyrocketing its value. After intense bidding wars at a high-profile auction held by Heritage Auctions, this coin fetched an unbelievable $11 million, breaking records and stunning the numismatic world. But that's just one thread in the broader tapestry of 1981 P. Jefferson nickels. There are dozens of other confirmed errors from that year that fetch tens of thousands and even hundreds of thousands at auction, including coins with clipped planchets, die clashes, rotated dies, and hub doubling so severe that the motto, "In God We Trust," appears to be shouting in echo. Each of these variants tells a unique story of minting anomalies, human oversight, and mechanical oddities that inadvertently gave rise to pieces of living history. The Philadelphia Mint in 1981 was particularly active, producing over 500 million nickels, and yet only a minuscule number, perhaps fewer than 100, have ever been confirmed to contain such significant errors, making them statistically rarer than most modern proof coins. Moreover, some collectors believe that certain error coins were quietly pocketed by mint employees, smuggled out, or overlooked entirely during quality checks, further muddying the waters and adding a level of intrigue that only fuels collector obsession. Another case surfaced in 2019, when a man from Ohio stumbled upon a 1981 P. Jefferson nickel in his grandfather's old coin collection. At first glance, it appeared standard, but under 10x magnification, he spotted something remarkable: strong doubling on Jefferson's I, the word "Liberty" stretching unnaturally, and Monticello's dome split in such a manner it almost looked like a twin structure. Sent for grading, this coin was certified as a DDO, double die obverse, of a variety previously unrecognized by mainstream catalogs. News spread fast, and private collectors began offering six-figure sums before it even hit the auction floor. Eventually, it sold for $425,000, making headlines in both coin-specific publications and mainstream media outlets. The ripple effect this had on the value of all 1981 P. Jefferson nickels was profound. Coin dealers reported overnight spikes in demand, coin roll hunters shifted their attention almost exclusively to this date and mint mark, and auction houses began re-evaluating prior listings with greater scrutiny. Today, owning a 1981 P. Jefferson nickel with any form of documented error or unique strike could mean you're sitting on a small fortune. And even standard high-grade examples with full steps and pristine surfaces have sold for thousands, with MS-67 and MS-68 specimens commanding premium prices due to their exceptional rarity in such condition. One of the lesser-known mysteries involves the transition period around 1981 when the mint began phasing out certain older dies and experimenting with updated hub designs. This overlap period led to mismatched die pairings, creating hybrid coins that featured elements of both old and new designs, subtle differences that only trained eyes could spot but which drastically affect value. And that brings us to one of the most compelling unsolved puzzles, the so-called ghost planchet error, where the nickel appears to have been struck on a nearly transparent or abnormally thin blank. While only a handful of these coins have ever surfaced, and some skeptics debate their authenticity, there remains a fervent belief that these coins are genuine and represent experimental strikes that were never meant to leave the mint. As mystery continues to swirl around these coins, collectors and treasure hunters grow more emboldened, armed with microscopes, calipers, and digital databases, hoping to be the next person to find a life-changing treasure in pocket change. If all this has sparked your curiosity, if your heart is now racing thinking about that jar of nickels tucked away in your kitchen drawer or that change you received from the grocery store last night, then you're not alone. The hunt for valuable 1981 P. Jefferson nickels has become something of a cultural phenomenon among numismatists, amateur treasure hunters, and even average people looking for a thrilling and potentially lucrative hobby. And while the odds may seem daunting, the stories we've shared today prove that these treasures are out there, often hiding in plain sight, waiting for the right set of eyes to recognize their true worth. So next time you come across a nickel with a 1981 date and a Philadelphia mint mark, don't toss it aside, take a closer look, because you just might be holding a coin worth more than a luxury car, more than a house, maybe even more than you've ever dreamed. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell, because there are countless more coins just like this waiting to be uncovered, and we'll be here to share every incredible discovery with you.